It is boys lacrosse today on CCX Section 5 quarterfinal action. Number 8 Blake, number 1 Wayzata. Steve Thompson along with Dan Ficken. The Trojans have had a great year, and in a very difficult section, the number 1 seed is an honor.
It really is, but they've played it and proved it. By God, they've had a heck of a season. 10-3, double-digit wins. Their losses were to some pretty good teams like Edina, etc. They've had a really good year. Blake, well, you know, they're here. And even though they're the A seed, this is the sections. Anything can happen here.
And let's take a look at some of the key players. First, for Blake and Theo Lidicote, sophomore attack, 24 goals, 8 assists. And when you look up and down this roster, goals come at a premium for Blake. And one of the reasons they've struggled.
Oh, absolutely. They've really had trouble scoring. And to have a sophomore attack come in and put in 24 into the net, that says something, which means they're building, which means they're going to be better on late in the future here as these kids get better. It's a young team, but they've built on it. They've got here. This is like new season for them. So this young man is going to really get an idea what sections are like. And, you know, obviously playing against the Trojans, he's going to get some experience.
Yeah, the Bears 5-9. They have dropped 4 of 5. Meanwhile, for the Wayzata Trojans, they have a lot of scoring punch. Cullen Britz, 34 goals, 26 assists. But they have another 34-goal scorer on this roster. But Britz, he can do it all.
Well, he's got great hands. He can go both arms. He's got great moves. He can put it back on you and get you going one way and come back the other. He can get going on a rush and just take you right out of your cleats. He's got great moves. He's got some pretty good size to him. And the other thing he has got a shot. It's a cannon.
And we look forward to it. Section 5 quarterfinal action. Blake at Wayzata coming up here on CCX Media.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
Maybe a little sun after the rain moved through for Blake and Wayzata. Steve and Dan, as the teams are going to meet at the middle of the field, and we will get underway in this Section 5 quarterfinal game between the Blake Bears and the Wayzata Trojans. And there's a look. Winner here gets Maple Grove, the Crimson. They advanced out of the quarterfinals along with Rogers and number 2 seed Benilde St. Margaret's. Talk about a loaded section with Wayzata and Benilde St. Margaret's at the top of the bracket. And how about you look at the Maple Grove Crimson? We saw them at the end of the regular season, and you know, Maple Grove, who knows? They're waiting in the semifinals. They could pull the upset.
Well, you know, it's not what you do in the regular season. It's how you end the season. And if you're coming in hot, you get a good shot at making a run at the sections. And conference championships are wonderful, but now it's time to play to go to state. And if you can put a good winning streak on, it can make your season.
All right. Well, the weather wasn't great when our crew was setting up here at Wayzata, but the rain is winding down. The skies are starting to brighten up, and I know on your trip in, it was raining pretty good as well, Dan.
Oh man. I crossed a few lakes, and I wasn't on bridges either, I'll tell you.
Yeah, so it kind of popped up out of nowhere from the northern suburbs, moved through the Plymouth area, but I think we are good to go for the boys, then the girls later on.
Yep.
And they will play a section quarterfinal, Wayzata against St. Louis Park. So we've got a doubleheader tonight here at Wayzata, and we are just about ready to go. The Trojans in white, of course. In goal, Brennan Lavender, 10-3, 6.16 goals against. Save percentage, .582. Meanwhile, for Blake, defending the goal down to our left, Jack Hewlin, 5-9, 9.16 goals against. Save percentage, .630, and that is outstanding, Dan.
I just don't understand why he's got a losing record. It's got to be the defense is really, really being rough in front of him. He stopped a lot of shots, and he's seen a lot of shots. But, he can change the game. Goaltenders, even here in lacrosse, just like hockey, can change the whole weather of a game. So I'm expecting, if they can stay in this thing through the first half, we could have a heck of a game here.
That face-off controlled by Camarion Prowell. And he'll head off the field. Wayzata off that face-off picked up the ground ball, and Jack Adams moved it forward. Now Wayzata sets into attack mode. Cam Johnson, 10 goals, 13 assists, handling. He's going to get a shot, skip it in on goal, and the big save by Hewlin. Well, he stepped up, made a good save.
Well, it helps to get one right off the bat and just get yourself warmed up. But, you got to hope that Wayzata doesn't dominate these faceoffs, because you don't want them to keep coming at you, because they're just relentless. So if Blake can turn around and start winning some of these faceoffs, we could have a whole new ball game.
They're able to avoid the turnover there as it comes all the way across the field. Now a ground ball opportunity, and it looks like it is indeed going to be a turnover, and Wayzata gets it back. So they get a save and then turn it over, and then that's something young teams are going to do, and you can't afford to turn it over against Wayzata.
No, especially on their home field here. By gosh, I'll tell you.
Malik had it for a moment on the run here. Bennett Brown, 34 goals, 9 assists. He'll get the shot away, and that one goes wide. Wayzata had a player deep. They're going to hang on. We talked about 2 34-goal scorers. Bennett Brown, and at the top, Cullen Britz had 26 assists for Britz, and that's big-time scoring punch.
Oh, my gosh, what is that? That's at 68 goals. They did almost 70.
Britt sends it out on top. That's going to come to midfield. Battle for the ground ball. Knocked forward, and the Bears are going to get it. So Blake in a scoreless game. Here's James Thornton, 3 goals, 2 assists. He's going to give it up, put it on the ground, and it looks like just like that, another turnover on the Bears. And Wayzata right back to the attack. Malika gives it up. Shot with the long pull off the post. Ricochets out there. Odin Sean, 4 goals, 2 assists. He made a bid.
Boy, you love it when those long sticks get down and get a shot, because 9 times out of 10 they score and he hits a post.
Britz gets a shot away, hit a body in front. That did hit one of the Blake players, grabbed by Thornton. Thornton's going to get it to the goalie, and Hewlin's going to send it out of there. Actually, just going to calm things down a little bit.
It's like a good point guard. Just settles everybody down, gets everybody moving in their lanes, and dishes it off. But, boy.
Another turnover.
Yeah. Took it right into the middle. Keep it on the wings against these guys. They bunch up real tight in the middle there, and they don't give you any room there. Stay outside and spread them out.
Sokup has it. He'll give it up. Cam Johnson out on top. And now it's going to be Brown. Brown for Wayzata. We're scoreless. 3 minutes in, quarter number 1. The winner goes on to play Maple Grove in the semifinals. They spread these games out. Of course, state softball, the big tournament next week. And then it's on to lacrosse and track and field. Sokup hands it off. Boy, a good weave. Alstead can't get his shot away. Here's one from the outside. Beautiful. And that one went through the netting. It blew a hole in the netting. That's Brown. It literally did.
It did,
yeah.
Get some new hockey skate threads out there and laces and fix the hole. Just ripped it. We were talking about that. He's got a little velocity on that shot. Like I said, a cannon just ripped a complete hole right through it. Boom.
Someone's going to need to give up the shoelaces on that one. Wow. Just an absolute laser beam. Time of that goal comes at 3:24.
Well, we were talking earlier. This kid's got a cannon of a shot, and he showed it there. By gosh. He really let it rip. You can't let him get that open to get his arms that far back and let it rip, Steve. And he took a kind of a sidearm, too, which puts a weird spin on it, which is tough for the goalie to read. If it's coming up and down from the top, it's pretty easy to read. It's either going to bounce or whatever, but when you put a side angle on that, it puts a weird spin on the ball, and it curves on you.
Zip ties.
Oh, zip tie. Oh,
Yeah,
modern technology.
I was willing to give up the shoelaces for the cause, but they had zip ties in the bench area, so there they go. I have not seen that. I don't know. You've done a lot of games over the years, hockey or lacrosse. How many times have you seen one blow through the netting like that? I can't remember it.
I've seen it once in hockey, and I've seen it a couple times in lacrosse. That's about it. That was a hecko shot. Woo. I don't think anybody's going to get standing in front of it either, I'll tell you. When he winds up to shoot, they're going to let him shoot. Just keep him outside, but watch him wind up. He gets everything behind this shot. Switches to his good hand, his right-hand side, and he just rips it. You can almost hear the sonic boom go off as it left his stick.
Yeah, it remains to be seen if Olstad will get the assist on that one. He fed him, but, Brown made a dodge, switched hands, as you pointed out. And we've got another face-off win for the Trojans, and they go to work. And Blake, once again, got a save early, but they just have not been able to get into the attack zone, and they have turned it over. And now it's Malika. Malika the dodge to the left. He's going to power his way in, switch hands. That's blocked out of there by the goalie. That may have hit iron, and it's going to go out of bounds. Wayzata's going to hang on, scooped up there by Thor Sokup. Look at this.
Watch this nice move here. He really uses a long stride here. Gets himself inside, goes left hand, right hand, gets inside and takes a nice shot.
Sokup powers his way in and gets a goal. 2-0 Trojans.
Well, this is exactly what the Blake Bears did not want to happen here. They're getting dominated. I don't think their attacks touched the ball yet. They're getting pretty lonely down there. But you can see a great move here. Nice hand move, looking like he was going to dish, and it took the goalie off just by a second, and he took it into the short side there.
Sokup, sophomore midi, 16th goal of the year, coming in at 15 and 11. And we go right back to the middle of the field, and Wayzata's dominated here as well. And, the good teams, face-offs, ground balls, etc. And off that face-off, we have another ground ball scooped up there by Adams. Prowl won the draw. And now here comes Wayzata on the attack. Schoen has it. This guy's, on D with that long stick. They want to try and get that shot away. They are not going to give up and retreat to the other end of the field easily.
Well, they figure they got it because it's long run and they're exhausted. It's going to take a while to get back, so you might as well go down and get a shot deep.
Here's Brown. Brown off a pick. Gets it to the goal line extended. Quick shot goes wide. That was a nice feed to Britz, and Britz sent it wide. Didn't get a ton on it, but a nice move by Brown to get to the outside.
Well, the Trojans are showing a lot of quickness here, Steve. They're just out huffing it all around the pitch here against the Blake Bears. They just Blake's having a tough time keeping up with them.
Ground ball, batted around, and that's going to get near the goal, and Blake's going to control the ground ball. Thornton's handled it a ton already. And then they send it by the goalie, and the goalie's going to need to run it down. Newland is going to get it over on the far sideline. He gets it up. Nice clear ahead. Pelago. And then he loses the handle.
You can just see the frustration on his face there as he thought he was getting away, and he took one misstep, and he touched the sideline.
There's Brown again. He's already got a goal. Sokup the other. And Wayzata, the midway point of quarter number one. Here's a quick shot. That one skips wide. That was Malika letting it fly. Wayzata didn't have anybody deep, and Blake's going to get it. And the Bears, they want some attack zone time.
They just want to control the ball. I'm not even sure they care about getting the attacks on. They can just, they just need some control of the ball. But I mean, Wayzata's had almost complete control. Here we go.
Lidico moved it forward. Now it's Czech. Hunter Czech has it. He gets shoved toward the sideline. Battle for a ground ball. Wayzata's going to get it back. And one thing about Chad Hurd teams is they are going to pressure the ball all over the field.
Yeah, and that was a long stick midi there, and just being totally aggressive, not only with the stick and controlling the other guy's stick, but also pushing him out of bounds physically. And that's one big advantage the Trojans have. They're bigger, and they can be real physical. I mean, you can see the size right there.
Here's Cam Johnson. He's going to get into the attack zone, circle away. And they're going to set up. Coming on, Bennett Brown. Brown's got it. Artie has put one hole in the net, trying for two. Here's his shot. Big save, Hewlin. Went down low. Hewlin read it all the way.
Well, the minute he shifted his body, Hewlin could read that he was coming down low. He brought that stick down farther, and he made a nice save there. He read it really nice.
Clear ahead. Picked up on the ground ball. That turned out well. This is Liddicoat. Liddicoat loses the handle, and right back the other way comes Odin Schoen. On the move, Cam Johnson. He'll get his shot away. That one's blocked away. Hewlin an acrobatic save. I've been impressed.
Hewlin's doing a great job. He's bouncing all over the place. But you can see the quickness. I mean, they're just so much faster. And the adjustment he uses between his body and his basket. I mean, Hewlin does a great job there, kind of moving separate ways.
Evan Weatherford had a touch a moment ago and gave it up. It's Malika. Malika took a shot. Once again, Trojans didn't have anybody deep. It'll be the Bears' ball.
Well, until the Bears, started an element of control here and a little battling, I don't think the Trojans are going to worry about taking shots and missing the net.
Once again, they're just all over the ball everywhere in the field. That was Thornton. Has a touch, right back on the ground, stolen away. Alstead. NYZ back to the attack. Good feed in the middle, good catch off the side of the net. That is picked up by the goalie, Hewlin.
Well, Coach Hurd has to say he loves double teaming when they come down the field. But you generally try to see two midfielders going after the ball, double teaming.
Blake Langer on the run. And now we are going to get a timeout. There's Chad Hurd, the head coach. He's been at the helm and a lot of success here at Wayzata.
He's a heck of a coach. He's very smart, but he's got some talent too. I mean, they've had good youth programs. They come up, but he knows how to do it. He's got a good system that he plays. He emphasizes defense first, even though they're a scoring machine right now. But they're going to be a tough team to beat this year. They have a very good chance of going all the way.
Yeah, and they play a great schedule, and there's Jack Shear, and up and down, a lot of youngsters on this team, a good goalie and a junior. Their leading goal scorer, a sophomore, as you pointed out. And, it is one of those things. When you step up and play the likes of Wayzata or Benilde St. Margaret's, get ready.
Well, they only got 5 seniors on this team, does Blake. So they got some growing to do. And this will be a good experience for them, no matter how this turns out. But, they're running into a buzzsaw right now with the team that has one intent only, and that's to walk away with the top trophy in the state here this year.
And when you look at what Wayzata did this year, it is impressive. Up and down. They played a great schedule. They went out of state. They played a couple of Wisconsin schools this year and had success. As a matter of fact, 3 in a row in Wisconsin, all victories. Hudson's got a pretty good program, and they blew them out 12-3.
It wasn't even close. I'll tell you, Hudson's has won a few state championships in Wisconsin, and they've had a good program.
So Wayzata is on a tear. They've won 7 in a row coming in, and they're up 2-0, just inside of 4 to go in quarter number 1. Once again, I was worried we were going to get lightning or something along those lines, but just the rain fell, no lightning delays or anything like that here at the start. Here's Charlie Moore. Moore, one of the leaders, 18 goals, 14 assists for the senior. Now on the wing, Liddicoat. We featured him on the pregame show. Liddicoat gives it up. And now the Bears have a little attack zone time. This is Thornton. Thornton gives it up. There's a shot attempt. Big save there by Lavender.
Lavender finally saw a ball. By gosh. Nice save there, too. Really good idea with the basket, and he got his body behind it, too. So if it slipped through the basket, it would hit his body. Nice positioning by him.
Weatherford Rutherford to the goal line, extended for Wayzata in white on the attack. Down to our left, we approach the 3-minute mark, quarter number 1 of this Section 5 quarterfinal. Big thanks to the Wayzata Booster Club, making the live telecast possible today. I got that note from John Jacobson, and certainly good news. Cam Johnson gives it up. There's a quick shot attempt. Another save by the goaltender, Euland. Euland's going to pounce on it, try to smother it, and he does. How about that? He's a really good goalie.
Very aggressive. Nice save there by he hasn't seen a ball in almost the whole first half here, and he was tested on that one. That was a good shot.
That goalie's playing well early. Wayzata has it back. Another turnover on the Bears, and that has certainly been a problem. But once again, Trojans all over the ball wherever it is on the field. They don't lay back.
And it doesn't matter who they're playing. They could be playing the number 2 team in the state, and they'd still be really aggressive.
Cam Johnson, quick shot, another save. Euland. Euland's going to do a quick outlet. Oh, he has been spectacular. And here's some room. Bears on the run. There's more. That one skips wide.
That was a heady little move there. A little fake right, comes back left, switches his hands. Nice play. Look at this. Look at that. Just gives it to him and takes it right away.
Moore with 32 points this year, 18 of those goals. On the ground, Moore tries to knock it away. Another ground ball opportunity. Wayzata's just dominated the ground balls, as you might expect here in quarter number 1. Can they get to this one? And finally scooped up there by Alstead. Ryder Alstead had it, and then they turn it over, tried to get it over to Britz.
Well, the midfielders for the Trojans have just been dominating. They're bigger, they're stronger, and they're faster.
Here's one all the way across the field out of bounds, and that is going to be Trojan ball. Brown's going to have it.
You can see the look of confusion there, and I thought you were going that way. I thought you were going to go that way, but the Trojans will do that with you. When you get up against a good aggressive team, that they can really take you out of your game and really get into your head.
Well, Malika gives it up. Here's Brown again. Brown continues trying to find room, being shadowed. Good defense so far. He'll get into the middle. What a dodge! And then he sent it wide. That was a good move to the outside. Blake's going to get it, but that was big time. He double clutched and
yes, he did. Wow, what a move.
There come the Bears. Good run up the field. They get it into the attack zone.
Hold on to it. Let your goalie get back.
Final seconds here. Trying to get out in front. Lidicote. He'll give it up. Right back on the ground. Bears get it. Pushing, shoving. Look at that. 2-3 on the ball all the time. 20 seconds remaining in the quarter, and Wayzata is going to get it back again. But a dominating defensive performance so far.
The Bears can't get a step of free territory at all. I mean, they've had a few runs on the midfield, but, boy, when they get close, I tell you, the Trojans just shut them down.
Actually, the Bears are going to hang on. Blake has it, trying to get to the front. Get it toward the net, and it's picked up by Lavender. It really wasn't a shot attempt. It kind of popped off a stick.
Yeah.
Schoen did a nice job. We've called his name. Here's an opportunity from the outside. That one skips wide. That was Prince trying to make it 3-0 at the horn. But Wayzata gets 2. Brown at 3:24. Then Sukup made it 2-0. We'll go to quarter number 2 of the Section 5 quarterfinal between Blake and Wayzata in a moment here on CCX Media.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
Quarter number 2 coming up. Wayzata, the number 1 seed, leading number 8 Blank 2-0. Brown and Sukup in quarter number 1. Terrific goaltending on both ends. We switch sides. Lavender for Wayzata will defend the goal to our left in quarter number 2, and Jack Hewlin for Blank. He's made some acrobatic saves already.
He's kept him in the game. Yeah. I mean, if he hadn't been in there, this could easily be 5-6 nothing right now.
And Brown scored his 35th goal, but added to his resume a shot so hard it tore a hole in the net. And that's got to go on a highlight reel, I think.
Oh, my God, yeah. Gee, that was just a cannon.
Will Malik scoops up the ground ball. Another face-off control for Wayzata. Yeah, once again, face-offs, ground balls. Blake on the wrong end of the turnover battle. Here's Brown, gives it up in the middle, gets it down low, and that is over the shoulder for Evan Weatherford, and it's 3-0 Wayzata. That was tic-tac-toe.
I think they had a little time in between periods there to kind of drop a play because they can see the opening in the middle there. And nothing a goalie can do about that. And you kind of got to expect it, too, the last time they met, you know, these teams. I mean, Wayzata beat them 17-1, but nice pass right there. Just nice and easily done. Another one there, and just a couple moves, got him in front, took him right down. Nice play right there. He could have taken the shot there, and 2 passes later, they get it in.
Yeah, Brown to Alstead, over the shoulder, Weatherford, the senior midi. Just like that, 3-0 Wayzata, 21 seconds in, and they are well on their way. Another ground ball scooped up by Adam. So Prowell controls. Adam will scoop it up. And then right back the other way, another goal for Brown. This time no hole in the net.
And Ewan was disappointed on that when he saw that all the way, and it just got by him. Could it be that it had a little velocity on it, Steve?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That one comes just 9 seconds later, 32 seconds in. Actually, 11 seconds later. Brown is second of the game, 37th of the year. And just like that, from 2-0 to 4-0. Bennett Brown really taking control. All right.
You know, Coach here's got to stop letting his boys shoot at the nets in practice. They're destroying him, for heaven's sakes. It must have killed his budget this year at the rate they're going through him like that.
Someone may need to run down the street to the hardware store and get more zip ties.
If they have any left.
We may have to check with Isaac. Do we have zip ties in the truck we can donate to the cause? I've never seen this. Yeah, and Isaac is confirmed. I think there are zip ties in the truck that, if need be, I haven't seen this all year. A net repair on both ends of the field like this. Now, we did have rain. I doubt that was a factor.
Might have been a little bit, but, you know, the refs thoroughly check these nets before the game. I mean, they look at them and see if there's any fraying or stuff like that. I mean, these kids are just unloading. I'm amazed at the velocity that they're generating now.
So we've got a repair, and we'll play on. And once again, Kamarian Prowell The Fogo for Wayzata has done a really nice job so far. It really is all you want to do is you don't necessarily need a clean draw control, but get it in a spot where one of your guys can get it just like that.
Yeah.
And here they come, Cam Johnson.
Well, they obviously work on it quite a bit here. I know Coach Herr knows that it's a very, very important part of the game because you can control it. If you win 90% of the faceoffs, guess what? You got the ball 90% of the time.
Malika off a pick on the left's going to get it to the X. See what Wayzata does out of there. Quick shot blocked out of there. I think that hit the goalie square. That was Cullen Britz. Britz trying to get on the board. He came in with 34 goals. Bennett has 2 and the team leading 36 right now. Sukup, he's got 1 tonight. Sukup the dodge. Now down to Britz. He'll swing it all the way across. Nice movement there. That one skips wide.
You can tell how well coached the Trojans are, Steve. They're moving all the time. Everybody's got their feet moving. Nobody's standing still. And I love some of the moves, especially when they get back up into a defender, and they really work them.
Here comes Wayzata. Weatherford gives it up. Britt's trying to find move. Gets into the middle upstairs, and he's on the board. 5-0 Trojans. You could tell Cullen Britz wanted goal number 35 on the year.
Well, they're showing their stuff. There's a lot of talent here, and they're just really working it.
Time of the goal, 138.
Well, you know, you could get a bit of a downer in a game like this, too, after you've beaten them so badly the first time around and kind of take them for granted. And the Trojans are leaving no doubt that they are still by far the superior team right now.
Wayzata playing well. They led it 2-0, and then 2 goals in the first 32 seconds blew it open. Now it's 5-0, still early in quarter number 2. We got another draw control, and Prowell does his job. He'll trot off the field. Huge part of the game. And you and I over the years have talked about this quite a bit. You know, if you're an outstanding Fogo, you're going to have a job in college doing that as well.
And that's all you got to do is be a Fogo. I mean, you know, I watched Cornell yesterday, and they've got an All-American Fogo, and that's all he does. He gets the faceoffs, and then he goes off the field. And the only time he'll play is if they get a bunch of injuries. But he was absolutely amazing. He won 82% of his faceoffs.
Altenstead with a nifty ground ball pickup. They get it to the outside. Quick shot attempt. That goes way high over the net. That was Brown looking for number 3. But yeah, it is a coveted skill at the college level, and there are some good Fogos here in the state. Here's Britz, another shot. That goes wide. And Jack Hewlin, even though he's given up 5 goals, he has made some good saves. Very well positioned.
Oh, he was very well positioned, and he's really doing his best to keep the Wolves at bay. I mean, this would be really ugly right now if he hadn't been in the net.
Weatherford trying to get a shot away. Thinks better of it. Gets it outside. Sukup. And now this is Malika. Malika down to the X position. Nice catch from a knee. Backhanded shot. That was Britz trying to catch a goalie napping. Hewlin would have no part of it. Now he controls. And he'll try the long clear to midfield. Will it connect? No. Batted away there by Jack Adams. Good job by Adams. Blake gets it back. Opportunity for more. More, good spin move.
They got to stop spinning and start running. They're moving about half speed, and the Trojans are catching up to them every time. Let's get on our horses and run a little bit. Come on.
Theo Lidicote had it, gave it up. Let's see what the Bears can do in the attack zone. They had very little attack zone time in quarter number 1. Bart Glover. Glover works to the right. Being shoved. They try to get it to the X position. Grabbed by the goalie, Lavender. He read that and took it away.
Very, very active defense, boy. I love the way they keep their feet moving, the Trojans.
Ooh, there's one up high. Don't get a flag on that one. Could have. Got some oohs and ahs out of the crowd. Malika's going to come off. He appears to be okay. And now the Trojans settle in. Sukup way on the outside. Going to work to the middle. Fake a pass.
Well, he's got a little size to him, too. He could probably bull his way right down in there.
Why is that a good move?
Look at the quickness.
Out on top, Brown gets a shot away, but it's well wide. Brown looking for number 3.
Watch this play.
Brits tried to sneak one by. But Ulen was ready.
He was.
He was paying attention, hugging that near post.
I think out of 10 attempts like that, about 6 of them might go in.
Going down to the deck was Thor Sukup. Comes all the way to midfield, but it's grabbed by the Trojans. Ryder Olstead coming in, 28 goals, 10 assists, a junior attack. He's had a big year as well. And now it's Brown. Brown charges in. He sends another one wide. And the Trojans were deep. They'll continue.
Nice hand switch there by Brown, though. He started on his left. He came back to his right and got it on the inside.
And for the young kids, that's probably a crucial skill to learn. The younger, the better.
Yes, learn how to work with both hands.
Brits always got an eye on the net, ready to shoot. He's got a goal today. Player falls down, sends it out on top. Nice catch, Cam Johnson. That would have been a turnover. Johnson the shot. That one will skip wide. And the camera down in the end for us today, that
might not be a safe place to be.
That's living dangerously.
Yes.
It's not goalie territory, but close. that end zone camera for us. And then it comes in on the goal, and here's Lavender who's going to clear it. Long clear to the middle. And Wayzata connects, and they move forward. Malika gives it up. Here's Brown. Brown, big shot. And that one sails over the camera position.
You think he's big and strong? He just wavered off that hit that came at him. And the Bear took the worst part of that hit. And he still got a shot off.
Clock on the move, under 6 to go. Quarter number 2, Wayzata leading it in the Section 5 quarterfinal. Thanks so much for joining us. Girls later, their Section 5 quarterfinal. It'll be Wayzata against St. Louis Park, and we got a timeout here on the field. Well, Wayzata 2-0 after 1. Played very well, and then 2 goals, 32 seconds in, really to give them some breathing room.
Well, they took enough shots and to have that 5-0 score to be available at the end of the first quarter, but thanks to the effort of Mr. Uland, it didn't happen. But the Bears are starting to get worn down though. It's just the quickness, the speed, the strength of the Trojans is just really telling right now, and all the Bears can do right now is just hold on. Hopefully, maybe get one on some kind of play before the half ends. But they just want to get into the half right now. Without much more damage being done.
And you look at who they played this year. They fell 9-8 to Robbinsdale Armstrong out of the Northwest Suburban. They lost the big rivalry with Breck 9-7. They got beat by Champlin Park 12-5. Solid team out of the Northwest Suburban. Yep. They had a win over Providence Academy. They beat Trimac, Holy Angels this year. They beat OPC in the play-in game here in the section, and that was a final of 15-9. Now, I look at the game against Lakeville South. And the Lakeville schools out of the South Suburban of perennial power, they got beat 9-4. Mm-hmm. That's hanging in there against, Lakeville schools pretty strong over the years.
They've had their moments, but they just are not deep enough or strong enough, and they're not old enough. I think that's part of the problem, too. They're a very young team. So, they're gaining experience right now. That's the big factor.
They got it shut in on Lavender, and Wayzata's going to clear it forward. Will Malika handles it a lot as a midfielder. And Malika's going to head over to the far side and send it over to Brown on the ground. I like that play as well. When there's no defender nearby, let's make it easy. Let's avoid the turnover, and Brown picks it up. Brown in on the left, powers his way in front. That was easy. He just split the defenders and walked right in for his third of the game.
He's got a marvelous hesitate, go move. Not only from that backside move where he puts his back to you and works you, but he also can hesitate his speed and really get you off balance as a defender. And you can see the defenders are getting their legs all twisted up. Now watch this. As he comes around. Just nice job there.
Time of the goal, 7:05, 6-0 Trojans. And Brown having quite a game. And that was one where he just kind of went around the corner and walked right in on the goalie, and not much he can do. Powell at the middle of the field, certainly dominated here. Pops it out of there. Scooping it up again, Jack Adams. That has happened a half a dozen times already in the game today. Powell gets it out of there, and Adams comes around and scoops it up.
I don't think Blake's won one faceoff.
No. And it has been just like that. Bat it out of the circle and scoop it up and go. And now it's Cam Johnson. He's going to go to work. He could have fired away there. Nice catch. Alstead. Ground ball opportunity over to the far sideline. That's going to go out. Chasing after it there, Sean Hoffman. This is Alstead again. Once again, 38 points, 28 goals, 10 assists for Alstead. He's handled it some tonight, but I don't think he's had any shot attempts. We'll see if that changes. He works his way to the front, gets his shot away and a goal.
As Steve Thompson calls the shot, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you would think, 28 goals. It's like, all right, guys, I want to get in on the party here.
My turn.
Time of the goal, 8:01, and Wayzata extends their lead to 7-0. 5 here in the quarter. That was all Alstead.
Just nice moves there by his body and then switching hands to get that stick on the inside. Knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he got in and buried it.
And got Christian Hovard, the defender, turned around for Blake. Was able to get in front. Let's watch Prowell again and see what he can do. That one's popped out of there, and now scooped up by Brendan Ring, a defender. And there you go in the quarterfinals.
Oh, there we go.
Beating Blake.
Yeah.
Dominant performance for Wayzata. That was in a quarterfinal 1 year ago. Blake's got it in their own end, tries to clear it to center, but once again, a lot of pressure on the ball. Another ground ball, and then it's going to be scooped up on the backhand. Nice defensive play by Wayzata. Jack Billingsley, a sophomore, and the Trojans right back at it.
Everybody's wondering, why would you put Blake in the section with Wayzata? Well, you got to remember a few years ago, Blake was the dominant team. They were the ones that were winning a lot and getting to state, et cetera, and then, fortunes turn, and a lot of these kids now at the local public schools are staying at their public school and building their own programs.
Sukup, he's got a goal. He's going to power his way in, put it on the ground, but Wayzata's going to control no. I thought he gave it up to Brown over there, but I think we have our first flag.
Yep.
And the Bears are going to go a man down, I believe. Well, they're actually going to say that was Sukup with the goal. We'll have to take a look at that replay if it got all the way through. I thought at first there was a flag, but
look at the size
Sukup
on here. Look at the size on him. I mean, this kid is ripped. And I love it. What a Minnesota name.
Look at this. Yeah, he carried it all the way through. I thought there was going to be a flag, and then he got hit. And
he didn't even flinch.
Sukup, number 2.
Where do they go?
And for him on the year, number 17. And Wayzata in command.
And another face-off win.
Another face-off win. Another one scooped up by Adams. Now a chase after the ground ball, and Wayzata wins that. There's a battle. Littlecote fighting for it over in the far corner. challenge here by Ben Weekly for Wayzata. The Trojans are going to get it. They have so many scoring options, and we did talk about it before the game. You look at, the balance they have, that they don't rely strictly on Brown or Britz to score all the goals. There are other guys that can certainly step up. Alstead, we saw that. He picked up number 29 on the year. Rutherford coming in 15. Sukup, couple of goals today, 17 on the year. There's a big shot. Cam Johnson let it fly. Blake picks it up. They come all the way across the field, and it's grabbed there by Hovard. Hovard's going to wait and now send it up the middle of the field. Off the stick there of Thornton. Now it's the Trojans with it. Weekly.
The long stick was looking for it. He was looking for it, but he didn't see it, and he made a smart move and just decided, okay, we got it in the zone. I'm backing off. I'm going to give it to my guys and let them play through.
Brown gives it up. This is Johnson. Malika walks right in. That one goes wide. Goalie got a piece of it. We didn't see it a lot in the first quarter. We've seen it more in this quarter, Dan, where Wayzata's just been able to get to the front of that. No chance for the goalie. Here's another one walking right in, and the shot goes wide.
And here's an observation I think is true. Ulan's gotten better. The goalie for Blake has gotten better as the game went on. Has gone on. I mean,
And you look at the score and you're saying, well, wait a minute, you're saying the goalie's playing well. He has made some fantastic saves. And a lot of those goals are they've just got in front untouched, or it's been Brown with a laser beam from outside. Then
1 minute and a half.
One to go in the half. They get it in front. Off the post goes Alstead. And then it comes into Ulan, and he's going to control for Blake.
Just to give you an idea, Blake has given up 332 shots on goal this year. That is not good.
Their goalie's battle tested. They turn it over. That was the goalie. Big collision there. Wayzata has it. 30 to go. Still plenty of time to go in the quarter. They get it to the goal line extended. Falling down, trying to get a shot away was Alstead. I think Ulan came out and pounced on it. And he did.
Little guy, but he's just getting in there, and he's battling. He is still battling. He ain't giving up on anything. He sticks his nose right in there.
Trojans still have time. 15 to go. Trying to get a shot away. Skips over the net. That was Cam Johnson. Ground ball. That may do it. I don't think Wayzata's going to get a shot away. Battle for the ground ball along here. With Palachek fighting for it. Well, there he is. Bennett Brown, 3 goals in the first half. I think he's torn the net twice on both ends of the field. Once on the east side, once here on the west side of the field. But number 1, Wayzata all over Blake, 8-0 after 2 quarters of play.
Yeah, the athletic director is going to be unhappy because he's going to have to keep behind the cross nets, for heaven's sakes. But, wow. I mean, that kid has, like we said before the game started, he's got a cannon and he can let it rip. And you can't let him get wound up. But a totally dominating performance by the Trojans right now. I mean, they're faster, they're quicker, they move the ball well, they see each other well, and they're very well coached.
Trojans lead it at the break, and there is Brown upstairs through the net. Very impressive. Quarters 3 and 4 coming up here on CCX Media.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there. Because connected, we all do better.
Wayzata dominating the Section 5 quarterfinal matchup. The Trojans number 1, the Blake Bears the number 8. It was 2-0 Wayzata after 1, and then they put 2 quick goals on the board and really ran away with a dominant second quarter, Dan.
Was not even close. I mean, you're on Wayzata's home field, and they let you know it, and they just really played well. But the talent, the depth, the ball movement, the coaching, this is a good team. This could be state championship here.
Yeah, they are certainly a title contender, but they got to get through a very difficult section.
They do.
Benilde St. Margaret's the number 2, and we know how good they are. Here are some of the highlights. And Bennett Brown really put on a show. This is a terrific move. Gets the feed here and then uncorks one. Look out. Blows a hole in the net. Sukup, good move to the front. He'll put it away. He had a couple of goals. By the way, Brown 3 in the first half. Here's Brown again. Big save there, though, by Jack Hewlin. Another good save by Hewlin, acrobatic on Cam Johnson to rob him. Here's Brown, gives it up. Look at that tic-tac-toe. And Evan Weatherford put it away.
But you're seeing how much movement that the Trojans have. Everybody's moving. The feet are going all the time. They got their sticks up. They're just showing how good they are by doing the basics. They're doing it really well.
Fritz gets a goal there. Fritz, his first goal of the game and lone goal of the half. Just terrific movement. And then Brown is third there over the top. Really a good move. And then Alstead, this was a pretty goal as he just powered his way in and went downstairs. And that's a nice change of pace when you go down low and let it go. And then a goal there for Sukup. And in that, live, I saw something roll away, and it looked like it was his mouth guard. I thought the ball was rolling away. It was his mouth guard. He still had the ball and got the goal. My bad. Sukup with 2, Brown with 3, and the Trojans well on their way. And if you know Chad Herr, they're going to keep the pressure on. There's no let up in this team.
You know, when I was coaching, we were getting hammered one time, and I went over to the coach and in between the second and third periods of hockey, and I said, "Are you going to let up?" And he says, "No." He says, "You got to stop us." Look, am I going to tell my third and fourth liners that they got to stop playing hard? It just ain't happening, and I get that. You know, what the heck? You know, stop us if it's going to make you mad, whatever. But I mean, that's just the way it is. This is section, Steve. This ain't conference. This ain't non-conference. This is sections, and this counts a lot. And they're leaving no doubt, and I'm cool with it.
Yeah, 3 in the sections, 3 in the state tournament, so you got to win 6 to win a state title. And Wayzata trying to take down win number 1. They have a big lead over Blake. Third quarter coming up in a moment here on CCX Media.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
Quarter number 3 coming up. Blake's got a big hole to dig out of against number 1 seed Wayzata. And when we got started, we saw the bracket. The winner here will take on Maple Grove. The Crimson beat Breck 13-2, and that'll be in the semifinals coming up next week. Rogers and Benilde St. Margaret's will be in the other semifinal here in Section 5. Great first half. Bennett Brown. Goals 35, 36, and 37 on the year. And also, big first half out of Thor Sukup. Goals 16 and 17 on the season. And a moment ago, you saw Kamarian Prowell. The Fogo has done an outstanding job. They have owned the faceoff. I don't know if Blake has controlled one faceoff here tonight, and that's a huge part of it.
They have not won one. I would have noticed it because, oh my gosh.
And let's see if the Bears can turn the tide there. And they are going to give the face-off to Carson Pylon. And now a ground ball. Chasing after it there is Bart Glover.
Oh, boy.
Glover picks up the ground ball. They send it across on a hop. Charlie Moore trying to gain control. Wayzata all over it. Double team comes. And the Trojans grab it. Jack Adams was in there. And here comes Wayzata on the attack. In goal down to our left. Jack Hewlin for the Blake Bears. Wayzata 2 in the first, 6 unanswered in quarter number 2, and they go to work.
Well, they have just been relentless. You hesitate. You make one small error, and they jump all over it. But you can tell how aggressive they are, too. Every time the Bears come down with the ball, there's a double team on them right now, and it's fast, it's quick, and it covers both angles.
There's a sophomore, Sukup. Sukup gets it to the Ags position. Let's see what they do out of there. They get it way out on top. Ground ball easily run down by Cam Johnson. Now into the middle, Malika. Being pretty patient right now, Evan Weatherford. Brits over on the right. All the way across, catch, shoot. That was Malika, but it was well wide.
They're really trying hard to set up that backdoor play, too. They'll get it on one side, get everybody leaning that way, and then they'll bring it back to the other side, close down to the net in the crease area, and look for that shot.
Brits tries his shot. The whistle's wide. Trojans had a player deep.
And then there's Brits.
Yeah. Well, and he had a goal in quarter number 2, but quiet, and he's a guy that can certainly score a ton. Malika again. Swings it further out. This is Weatherford. They get it further inside. Sukup got a shot away. And the goalie, Jack Hewlin's going to fire out of there. Hewlin's going to take matters into his own hands over midfield down the sideline. Gets shoved rudely to the sideline.
I like
We're
that.
going to get timeout.
A little spunk on that. I like that. That away, goalie. Mr. Hewlin taking charge. Said, I'm getting this thing out of here.
But you look at his save percentage, though. .630
Yeah.
in all the shots he's faced.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the real deal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, considering the fact that he's 332 shots on goal, Steve, and he's got that kind of save percentage, that's amazing. The kid's really good, and they're getting smoked.
Yeah, and we've talked about this over the years as well. It is a unique brand of courage to play lacrosse goalie, boys or girls. I mean, you
got to have leather cojones to play goalie in lacrosse. You really do. And frankly, I've watched every goalie that I've watched in hockey in this game. They're nuts. Not me. No, thank you.
Yeah, this is a unique game to just, okay, when you got guys like Brown and Brits and Sukup firing darts at you, that is.
And breaking the net. I mean, how many guys have you seen a hockey puck break a net?
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh. Woofda.
So here we go out of that timeout. 10:01 to go, third quarter. Trojans led at 8-0. And that's where we stand here in the third. Girls game coming up, Section 5 quarterfinal there. The Wayzata Trojans, the girls team having a big year. They play St. Louis Park in the nightcap, scheduled for a 7:30 start. Here's James Thornton. He handled a lot early. Thornton, a good dodge, splits a double team, trying to hang on to it, put it on the ground, bat it away. Wayzata plays such great team defense.
They really do.
You know, where there's one, all of a sudden there's two, and then there's three, a fight for the ground ball. Trojans battling and trying to control. Tommy Colmenero fighting for it. Wayzata ends up with control. And I would assume Chad Herr is going to mix more of his players into this as we go through the game. Calmanero, midfielder, and a junior. Bears have it over on the far side. Now they work it into the middle. Here's Glover.
Well, to show you how good the Trojans are, they've only allowed 38 goals against this year.
And really D first.
Oh.
With Chad Herr over the year. And you see, in an 8-0 game, they could lay back, and instead they got two guys on the ball.
Yeah. They're not going to change their game. This is sections. This ain't no fooling around right now.
Odin Sean, 4 goals, 2 assists, but he's certainly been very active and a part of what Wayzata has done defensively. Jack Billingsley back there. Billingsley out to challenge. That one's going to skip away. They do keep it in, but it's going to be scooped up by Tyler Schumann. Midi for the Trojans. Actually, the Bears are going to keep it. Now into the middle, it's Glover. Glover a spin, can't get around the defender, Sean. Nice catch by Lidicote. Lidicote hasn't had any room. He's going to run down to the X position and try and work from there. Try and get around the corner and sends it out. Calmanero followed him all the way around the net.
Well, there's also a little something, too, here between, some of these public schools and some of the private schools, too. And I think some of the public schools get a kick out of ripping up on these private schools a little bit.
Ground ball scooped up there. Luke Palachek. And now the goalie's going to get it. Lavender. Lavender's going to go back to the defender. And running out of there is Schoen. Now they get it to midfield and move it forward. And now they'll set up shop. Here's Brown. 3 goals in the first half, including the one that got us started 3:24 into the game. Down to the X position. Brits out to Brown. Malika. Now further out, Alstead. Malika tries to work his way in. Double team comes. Blake's really started to pack it in front. They're not going to let anybody walk in front. There's a shot from the outside, saved by Ulen.
And that's where Ulen's been good. They're not getting much, except for that one that broke the net that beat him, which I think would have beaten a college goaltender from lacrosse.
Well, and the thing is on a lot of those goals, the 6 goals given up in the second quarter, how many were they just allow them to walk right in? Here's Brits. Yeah. Boy, he uncorked one. And Brits has his second, and Wayzata leads it 9-0.
36th of the year. Man.
It comes at the 5:30 mark. Brits. Once again, you let a guy like that loose. Good dodge, quick shot. Not much a goalie can do.
No, he got it. He got his arms out there too, wide open, and just let it rip. Did a heck of a job there.
Well, and the great
I'm
goals,
impressed.
And the great goal scorers, they find those corners.
Oh, they do.
Upper right, upper left, lower right. I mean, they're not putting into the body of the goaltender.
No, and they can do it on the bounce too. I mean, the angles they see, and that's a sight thing. It really is. People say, Wayne Gretzky, how can you score like that? He says, I don't know. I just do it.
Face-off awarded to Wayzata. Schumann, Tyler Schumann, a senior midi. For Wayzata right back to it, up 9-0. Midway through quarter number 3. We got a double header, the girls later. So we get started in section play. Big thanks to the Wayzata Booster Club for helping us bring you this action live. Malika off on the right. Further out. That one hit the post. That was Weatherford trying for goal number 2, and it's scooped up by Ulen. And he has had help from the iron. And now he clears near side. Pelagio moves it forward.
Ooh. How many times have we seen that double team come and it's just physical? I mean, there is no mercy. Oh, my God.
Brown off the feed from Alstead. Number 4 for Bennett Brown.
Excuse me, can we draw that up again, please? Oh, my gosh. I mean, you could put that on the board and just this is the way you run a play. Look at him. He's coming right down the middle here. He just never hesitated. They got the ball over to him. They see each other so well, Steve, don't they?
Yeah. Just great vision. And then, once again, upper right, not much chance for the goalie to react.
No.
There's just 4 options, and Brown's got 4. How about that?
Congratulations, Bennett.
Milestone goal for Brown. I believe number 100 in his career. We will confirm. Missed the announcement, but 4 tonight. And that gives him 38 on the year. And the senior, quite a game. And a terrific assist. Alstead with the dive.
Yes.
Alstead in the middle, swings it over to the right. Brits! Again! And just like that, he has 3.
Goal by number 8, Colin Brits. Assist on goal by number 15, Mary Crowell.
Boy, you just can't let this kid wind up. He can rip it. Surprised he hasn't torn another hole in the net.
Time of the goal, 6:35, and Brits just like that has 3. So Brown scores, and then Brits comes back and says, yeah, all right. And it's 11-0 Wayzata, 5:25 to go here in the third quarter. Goals coming at times in bunches. Ground ball was grabbed there by Schumann, and Schumann's going to be able to continue his run forward.
Oh, the Bears just can't catch a break here at all. They get the ball, and something happens at all times. They lose control of it. But you see, they're back in control again, and yeah, there you go.
And they send it across. This is Weatherford with number 2, and now they're just all over.
Number 5, Evan Weatherford.
Weatherford, number 2. And time of that goal, 7:01.
Assist on that last goal by number 8, Colin Brits.
And Brits is going to get the assist on that one. And they are really moving it around. And once again, they're just hanging the goalie out to dry. I mean, there's just nobody to bail them out.
No, and it's Wayzata's not doing a bunch of one-on-ones, beating them to death. They're just playing their game. There's nothing special what they're doing. They're just finding players, and they're firing and scoring goals.
12-0 Trojans. Just flat out dominating. It was 2-0 after 1, 8-0 at the half, and now it's 12-0 here in the third. And the Bears are going to get it.
And that's been the other problem, too. The Bears they can't buy a face-off to save their life, for heaven's sakes. They've lost, Steve, they must have lost 98% of the face-offs so far in this game.
Langer gets shoved, and are we going to get our first? Yeah.
Yeah, up in the head.
Yeah. And going to the sideline, Dane Roback is going to take a knee. That is our first penalty of the game. We have not had a team go a man down, but the Trojans do here.
Just to add insult to injury here. Well, I got to tell you, I am extremely impressed at how good the Trojans are this year. My gosh, what a dominating team.
Yeah, and Lavender in a couple of spots has made saves. He hasn't had to show anything off, but he has had a really good year. You look, 10-3, 6.16 goals against, save percentage almost 600.
Yeah,
so it's pushing the 600 mark at 582. And that one goes by the side of the net. Maybe the best scoring chance of the Bears. Now to the outside. That one skipped in. Saved by Lavender. That was skipped in from the outside by Charlie Moore, coming in 18 goals, 14 assists. And now a good run by Schumann. Schumann showing his speed. He's going to run out of there over to midfield. Ought to have that kind of energy.
Ought to have the lean bodies these guys have, like you and I used to have.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, wow, to be able to run like that.
Oh, man.
But a good run by Schumann clears it out. Wayzata goes to the attack. Coming up on 3 to go in the third. It certainly looked like the number 1 seed. They have played well here tonight. Rain came before the game. They move it around. On the outside, that draws iron. Big shot by Cam Johnson. And that shook the net. And now it's Malika. Malika sends it down below the goal line, out on the side. That's Sukup. Thor Sukup is third of the night. He has 18 on the year. Just a sophomore.
Yeah, the Trojans are going to be scary for the next few years. They've got a good range of depth here between seniors through sophomores. So be warned, lacrosse players out there, or teams out there, they're going to be good for the next few years.
Yeah, Brown with 4, Brits with 3. Sukup joins the party. He has 3. And he is a big, strong kid and a sophomore.
Yeah, too scary. Gee, you think he plays football maybe? Wow. If he doesn't, I don't know where the football coach is, but he better get his head together because that guy can play. What an athlete.
Prowl with another clean win on a face-off. Good job by the Fogo here tonight. He'll head to the sideline, and they go to work again. Luke Palachek near side. He's going to get it further out. This is Will Malika. 140 and counting.
I just got to feel bad for the Bears here. They're just totally outmanned and out-physical.
And now it's Alstead. Alstead's going to give it up. Brits from the outside sends it wide. That dents the high jump pit. Down here in the corner.
It's probably where the Blake goalie would like to go right now and just kind of sit there and watch the game. He's going to be seeing lacrosse balls in his dreams tonight.
Turnover by the Trojans. Opportunity for the Bears. They put it right back in the ground. Give it back to the Trojans. Ground ball picked up by Palachek. Palachek trying to move forward. He gets shoved. They're working him over pretty good. Theo Ferrazzi all over him. And now Blake's going to go a man down. And heading to the sideline, Charlie Moore. Final seconds.
Penalty on Blake's number 7. 30 seconds for a push.
So 30. He'll take a knee. So both teams have a penalty here in the third quarter. And we'll get it started. Just 10 remaining in the third. Wayzata up 13 rip. They get it out on top. Malika fires one in. Saved there by Jack Hewlin. Hewlin's going to trot out of there, and that'll be the end of the quarter. Wayzata puts 5 more on the board. Brits with a couple. Brown adds his 4th. Weatherford his 2nd. And Sukup his 3rd of the game here in this third. Wayzata leads at 13-0. Looking good.
Looking fantastic. I mean, wow. This is a machine, Steve. It's just methodical, you know. They're emotional, but not too emotional. They're in control all the time. And just doing their number and playing their game. And I like the fact, too, that they're not sticking it in the face. They're not excessive celebrations. There's not, okay, well, I scored. Okay, I'm moving back. I did my job. And they move back to start play again. So showing some good sportsmanship here, too. And that young man, I'll tell you what, he has played his heart out. He's done the best he could, but he has been shelled. And he's been shelled all year, to be honest with you. Obviously, the Bear defense is pretty deficient right now. And, of course, that's part of being young. They got to learn them. They're getting a good lesson tonight. But, wow, what a player.
There's Brown celebrating a milestone goal. He has 4 on the night here on CCX Media.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
And we're back, fourth underway, and the Bears will control in their own end, down 13-0, and we confirmed that Bennett Brown, 4 goals on the night, now has 111 in his Trojans career, most all time.
Triple figures in goals. I mean, my gosh, Can you imagine that? Jeepers. Did we get an idea where he's going to college? Was that Eastern Michigan?
Yeah, I have not heard, and that we can confirm as well. There's a quick shot by Brown looking for number 112 in his career, 4th on the day, and he was denied by Hewlin, but yeah, big milestone goal. Typically when they stop the game and celebrate, it's like his 100th, but we did confirm it's the all-time record, 111 for the Wayzata Trojan. So big thanks to the folks here in the box at Wayzata for confirming that note.
Wayzata, that's number 19, Teddy Peterson.
I'm wondering how that's standing state-wise, too, how that ranks and how many goals are scored on a statewide basis.
And we have a shot. We have a new goalie in there. The way it looks for Wayzata, I don't have a 19 on my roster. We'll have to confirm that. But a 19 in goal for Wayzata. Thought I heard on the PA it's Peterson in goal. The Lavender out of there, and it looks like we have another goalie on the other end. Hayden Bubb, a sophomore. Jack Hewlin's going to come out of there. And once again, gave up 13 3/4, but he made some fantastic saves.
Oh, he looked good.
Game.
He kept him in the game for a couple quarters.
Trojans get it back. Under 10 to go. Trojans up by 13 here in the 4th. We have got full running time, as you might expect. But yeah, they certainly do have a lot of scoring options, and you can see that on the stats coming in. But when you got a sophomore like Sukup that can add to the mix, and he is a big physical kid too.
Yes, he is. He can, but he's got some adept athletic moves, but he can bull rush you too.
There's one on the ground. Opportunity here for the Trojans. Cam Johnson. He's had a lot of touches. Done a nice job out on top for them in the attack. And now it's Brits.
Well, just the aggressiveness of the Trojans play, too. And the minute the Bears have made a mistake or hesitated, and in one sense they jumped all over it. And, you know, that's a sign of a good team, and that's a sign of a team that is going to go places. And I'm sure they will continue to get against the better teams, too. We got to remember, this is the 1st seed against the 8th seed, too, you know.
Johnson gives it up, cutting in the middle. Weatherford couldn't handle it. And it ends up on the stick of Sukup. And now down on the floor, Will Malika. And Malika took a shot, and he is in discomfort. Trainer's going to come out as the clock continues to move. And there it is. He was just setting a pick, and got drilled.
The Bears stick kind of got where you want it to be.
He's up and headed off.
I don't think I've ever seen a coach as good a shape as Chad Hurst. Look at him. I don't think I get into an argument with him either.
Well, here's the thing. That doesn't come sitting on the couch eating chips.
No, which I'm extremely good at, by the way.
Hey, I have a PhD in that.
Do you?
As a matter of fact, yeah, exactly. A certificate in chips, dip, and TV watching.
Oh, yes. 3 of my favorite things in the world.
Wayzata back at it as they swing it down to the X. trying to get in front, getting a shot away and firing over the top of the net. Luke Palachuk, sophomore. Was that a right back? Got it in a goal. And let's see who's going to get it. I think it's Cam Johnson, his first to the game, and it is. That's 11 on the year for Cam Johnson.
And he got into the game, got into the scoring column now.
They're going to give an assist to Sean Hoffman, but Cam Johnson, number 11 on the year. And there's the new goalie for the Bears. Once again, Hayden Bubb.
Well, now he knows the true meaning of, going from the frying pan into the fire.
And now 14-0 Wayzata. Big, big lead. And Kamarian Prowell wins another one cleanly, and here he comes.
Look at that. I mean, he's just throwing them off like bees.
And then he fires it across, and then a shot taken there. That was Palachuk again. And that's going to be scooped up by Evan Weatherford. He had a goal. Third goal of the game for the Trojans. There's another quick shot from the outside. They are not afraid to let it fly. Running time, of course, midway through quarter number 4. And then scheduled to start at 7:30 tonight will be the girls' game. It'll be Wayzata against St. Louis Park. Once again, 7:30 scheduled start. You'll see it here on CCX Media.
Just a little over an hour from now, so stay with us. Get something to eat. Go get a pizza or your local Chinese or whatever, and sit back and enjoy us for, looking to be a pretty good game here in the second half of our doubleheader.
Colin Bierman toward the net, and that one's the Bears are gonna get deep. Good hustle there by Hayden Bubb. Pop out of the net for the sophomore and get to it, and the Bears trying to get one on the board as they get ready to close out their year, 5-9 at the moment. And Wayzata would advance and play Maple Grove, and that game early next week. Rogers and Benilde St. Margaret's the number 2 seed in the other semifinal.
Well, I hope Maple Grove had a scout out here watching this and trying to figure out what they're going to do, because they're going to run into a buzzsaw here.
We got a flag fly. That's going to be likely a slash. Once again, Wayzata all over the ball. Brendan Ring battling for it. Now we have 2 flags on the field.
Yep. Same ref threw it. Threw him.
Question is, does he have a third?
He probably would have thrown one there, too.
Yeah, and there are 2 penalties. There's Malika and Ring both take a knee. Opportunity for Breck.
Right there, and right there.
That was up at the head.
Yep.
That's going to get it every time.
Yep.
You get up on the helmet like that. That is going to get called.
Well, no coach is going to get really upset about that. I mean, you want him playing aggressively, and that's going to happen sometimes.
Well, and the thing is, and we've talked about the goal scoring and the ground balls. There's a quick shot from the near side. Soren Reyes, 9 goals, 8 assists, let it fly, but just wide. Is, once again, defensively dominant all over the ball, all over the field. They gave the Blake Bears no room to breathe. From the outside, Moore's shot. That is sent wide. They didn't have anybody deep, and it looks like the Trojans are going to get it, and they indeed will. Ben Weekley.
And they're still not giving him any room to breathe. Every shot's been contested. Oh.
Bierman on the move. Gets it into the middle. Robeck. As Wayzata sends it around. Under 3 to go. Here's a shot and a goal. Sliding through the middle. Luke Palachuk.
Wayzata, scored by number 13,
So Palachek, he gets on the board, and it's 15-0 Trojans. And that came at roughly 9:30 remaining with running time. But Palachek could move into the middle, good shot, downstairs, and you love that shot.
I love high-low. Works for me every time. You know, that's a smart shot. That's not a power shot. That's a smart shot.
So Palachek gets one on the board, and
well, that'll make his night.
Palachek got to be thrilled here in a section, get the opportunity. Another clean win on the face-off. Prowell's going to get his shot away. He wanted that.
He wants a shot.
When those Fogos take it down the field and go right down the middle, you can just tell, I want it. And that was a pretty good look over the top of the net. But he just owned the middle of the field today. And that one drew a little iron. Coming up on 1 to go in the game. Ground ball scooped up. Weatherford, good job. They get it into the middle. Prowell walks right in. He'll score. And everybody's thrilled for the Fogo because they know how much his work means in the middle of the field. And for him to get a goal, everybody loves that.
Oh, what a tremendous job he's done. Look at this. Want another one again, but look at this guy. He just lumbers down there. Gets a great shot off. Doesn't quite get it. And then he gets another opportunity here. And there he goes. Puts it away.
Yes, sir.
It's a big moment for him. Fogos usually don't get too much of a chance to score. They get on and get off.
And his first goal of the year. And that's got to feel pretty good. Certainly a huge part of the win today. And 16-0 Wayzata. Seconds remaining in the game. Ground ball at midfield. And the Wayzata Trojans are going to get a shutout in this Section 5 quarterfinal and beat the number 8 seed Blake Bears by a final score of 16-0. It was 13-0 after 3. Johnson, Palachek, and Prowell score here in the fourth. Just a dominating win, and Bennett Brown with 4 tonight, 111 goals, most scored in program history. Big thanks to the folks down the way in the press box for an assist on that number, but just a dominating performance. They look every bit the part of the number 1 seed in this section.
Oh, my. Oh, my. I did not expect to see this type of dominance and performance by the Trojans. It's a well-oiled machine. It reminds me of my beloved Green Bay Packers in the 60s. They just grind you into the dirt. And that's just what the Trojans did. They just ground them down into the dirt and did their thing. And, you know, it's amazing when you know what's coming and you can't do a thing about it.
And in that final poll, we saw Edina was 1, Stillwater 2, Farmington 3, Eden Prairie 4, Lakeville North 5, Minnetonka Wayzata 7. And by the way, the number 2 seed, Benilde St. Margaret's the number 10 in that last poll. And you saw Jack Hewlin really did a yeoman's job in goal, made some fantastic saves. But once again, Brown with 4, Brits with 3, Sukup with 3. And the Trojans roll to a big win, 16-0 over Blake. Thanks so much for joining us here on CCX Media.